Welcome back to the AI Care Agent's 24/7 AI Governance Learning Pathway. As a California nonprofit, our whole goal here is to lay down the absolute practical groundwork for your AI journey. Today, we are diving straight into a really crucial cornerstone module. This is System 6, Training Staff and Boards. Now, this entire pathway is designed specifically to help nonprofits, legal aid organizations, and clinics move from complete confusion to actual governed action. We totally get it. Trying to navigate the wild world of AI while also trying to serve your community, it feels exactly like drinking from a fire hose. But today, we're going to break things down into clear, safe, and manageable steps forward.
Okay, let's dive right into this with part 1, the human element, and exactly why policies fail. In System 6, we really have to address this human element head-on, because the reality is pretty simple. The best policies in the world absolutely fail if your team doesn't understand them. Seriously, you could spend weeks drafting the most perfect acceptable use policy with top-tier legal experts, but if your people don't actually get it, they just aren't going to follow it.
And that brings us to a massive, highly practical challenge, especially when resources are already incredibly tight. How do we actually train everyone without wasting their time? We can't just drag the whole organization into some generic 4-hour corporate seminar, right? People will completely tune out. We need a highly targeted approach.
Enter our solution, the blueprint for a role-based curriculum.
Today, we are designing a role-based curriculum to train your staff and boards on AI governance. If you take a look at the training matrix we've got up on the screen, it illustrates perfectly how different roles require fundamentally different depths of knowledge. Your board really just needs a highly focused 15-minute session, while your frontline staff, they require a slightly longer 30-minute module. Tailoring the training like this ensures everyone gets exactly what they need without wasting a single minute of their day. This perfectly captures the two completely different mindsets we have to manage here. Over on the macro side, we have the board. They need to understand the high-level risk and legal exposure. But on the micro side, focusing on the everyday needs of the frontline staff, they need to know exactly which tools they are allowed to use today. You literally cannot train these two groups effectively using the exact same presentation. It just doesn't work.
So let's look at how this builds out in practice, starting at the macro level with the board briefing.
15, that is the magic number here. We are going to outline a targeted 15-minute board briefing. Remember, board members are incredibly busy volunteers. They honestly don't need to know how to engineer a complex prompt in ChatGPT, and they definitely don't need to know the technical architecture of large language models. They just need the bottom line, and they need it delivered in 15 minutes flat. During those precious 15 minutes, your board strictly needs to understand exactly two things: high-level risk and legal exposure. We're talking data privacy, potential biases in service delivery, and leadership's plans to mitigate those risks. If you keep it focused entirely on their fiduciary duty, you will hold their attention.
All right, now let's pivot down to the ground floor, the micro level, which is our frontline staff module. 30 minutes. This one is for your caseworkers, your legal aides, and your administrative team. We're outlining a comprehensive 30-minute staff module for them. Why? Because they are the ones interacting with AI day in and day out. They require a slightly more comprehensive block of time for highly actionable, workflow-specific training. And here is the absolute crucial difference. While the board is focused on legal exposure, your frontline staff needs to know exactly which tools are allowed today. Like, can they use a free translation tool for client intake? What about an AI drafting tool for legal briefs? They need absolute unwavering clarity on what is officially greenlit and what is strictly prohibited, so they can do their work safely and confidently. Finally, let's transition to the life cycle, sustaining this governance long-term.
Because look, governance training is a living system. It is definitely not a one-off event. Step 1 is that 15-minute board briefing we talked about. Step 2 is the 30-minute staff module, but Step 3 is really the glue holding it all together, an annual refresher plan. AI moves incredibly fast, right? As tools and laws constantly evolve, this annual refresher is what actually keeps your organization safely governed year after year. We've covered the strategy, so now I have a very direct question for you. Are you ready to educate your team? Because it's time to pivot away from theory and get into immediate practical execution. And the best part? You don't have to build any of this from scratch. If you're ready to educate your team, go ahead and download our practical output for today. It includes a pre-built slide deck plus a facilitator guide, so you can start delivering these crucial training sessions literally immediately. This gives you the exact structure you need, saving you tons of time, while still hitting all those key risk and operational points. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer. Definitely check the description below to download today's slide deck and facilitator guide. And once you've got that, go ahead and proceed to the next module in the pathway to continue building your AI foundation. I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Will your AI policy just be a dusty document that nobody ever actually reads, or will it be a living, breathing part of your organizational culture? The choice is completely yours. See you in the next module.